Welcome to a new episode of TOEFL ITP Insider. In this episode, we're going to talk about present participles. Now, present participles are verbs plus ing, but it can be really confusing in the TOEFL ITP exam because sometimes they can be adjectives and sometimes they can be verbs. And of course, they can be verbs if they're preceded by a form of verb to be, like am, is, are, was, were, been, be. Now let's see how we should be dealing with present participles in the TOEFL ITP exam. So first, let's see an example where we have present participle acting like an adjective. Let's read this one together. I hadn't noticed the man standing beside the apparition. Let's read it again. I hadn't noticed the man standing beside the apparition. Now, standing here is not actually a verb, it's an adjective. Why? Because as we said, verbs plus ing, when they're not preceded by a form of verb to be, this means that they're adjectives, not verbs. Now let's have a look at another example, but this time the present participle is used as a verb. Let's read it together. The man is standing on his porch in his tuxedo, peering into the forest. Okay, one more time. The man is standing on his porch in his tuxedo, peering into the forest. So, we've got standing, and standing this time is a verb because it's preceded by verb to be, which is. Now, so how are we going to be asked about this in the TOEFL ITP exam? Let's go to an MCQ question and have a look at it. And the question says, the man sitting in jail for multiple murders is tarred. Now, as usual, we need to check whether the sentence has a subject or a verb, because that's the basic structure of the English sentence. And we've got here, the man sitting in jail for multiple murders is tarred. We've got is. Obviously, that's a verb. And the man, obviously, that's the subject. So we've got a subject and a verb, which means that we don't need a verb because we have already a verb. So, can we say the man is? I'd say no, because is a verb, and I have already a verb in the sentence. Can I say was? No, because was is a verb, and I have already a verb in the sentence. Can I say he? No, he would be a subject, and I have already a subject in the sentence. Now, the only option left is now. So, the answer would be, the man now sitting in jail for multiple murders is odd. Good, lovely. Now, let's now check some sentences and see whether we're able to identify whether they're right or wrong, accurate or not accurate. Let's see. Right, I've got this sentence here. The agitated birds were flying over the roofs, could not settle down and chopped at the sky with the wings. One more time. Let's read it again. The agitated birds were flying over the roofs, could not settle down, and chopped at the sky with the wings. Now let's analyze it. So I've got the agitated birds, and obviously that's a subject. And then we have were flying. Now flying is a present participle, and at the same time it's a verb here because it's preceded by were, which is a form of verb to be. So we're flying over the roofs, could not, but wait a minute, could not settle, that's another verb. And there isn't any connector between the verb we're flying and the verb could not settle. You know what that means? It means that we have double verbs in a sentence, which is wrong. Because if you want to put two verbs together, then you need to put a connector like and, like when, like because, but we don't have this. So actually the correct version of the sentence is, the agitated birds flying over the roofs could not settle down and chopped at the sky with the wings. So actually I turned were flying into flying, and that would make it an adjective, not a verb, so that we avoid having double verbs in a sentence. Right, now let's move to the coming sentence. We've got here, the lady was trying on the hat, saddened me by her comment. So we've got trying on, and that's a present participle, and it's a verb because it's preceded by was. And we've got the lady, that's a subject. So we've got a subject and a verb. Let's continue reading. Saddened me by her comment. Saddened, that's another verb. So again, it's the same dilemma. We've got two verbs in one sentence and no connectors. And this is wrong. This is incorrect grammar. So how can we make it correct? Look at this. It will be, the lady trying on the hat saddened me by her comment. So what I did is that I turned trying on into an adjective by removing the form of verb to be before it. So again, my friends, to wrap up, present participles are verbs plus ing, and they can be used in English language as adjectives, and they can be used also as verbs. In a case when the verbs, they need to be preceded by a form of verb to be, like be, been, was, were, and the like. So, thank you very much, my friends, for watching this episode of TOEFL ITP Insider. Will be waiting for you in the coming episodes. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay, bye-bye, my friends.